Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these four different stems to make our consonants. Vowels are quite a bit trickier. They're smaller circles, and they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of these four consonant stems. So, this is what they look like in context. So here are our four stems, these four stems, and this is what an A looks like attached to them. So an A is always outside the word circle. Even if it's inside the stem, it's outside the word circle. O's are always on the inside of the word circle, and if they're attached on a stem, they're on the line of the stem. U's, I's, and E's are all in the same position, but U's have a line going outwards and I's have a line going inwards. And the position they're in is on the line of the word circle or floating inside the consonant stem. So this is the design. And typically you read bottom counterclockwise and you arrange everything in a circle. This is clearly not a circle, it's a line. But the same thing kind of stands as far as figuring out where to start, because if you read words bottom counterclockwise, so you would read this word like this, it makes sense to read a sentence starting at the bottom. So they're obviously in a chain going up, so we start at the bottom and then go up. So let's look at our first word here. So this thick line is our word circle, and the first stem we have is a deep divot. And lines that pass through the stem do not count. So there are no lines ending on the stem, but there are three dots. So that is a D, because D has three dots on a deep divot stem. So that's our first word, and then we have our next word, our next letter, sorry, which is a little circle. So it's a vowel, and it's on the line of the word circle. So it's an E. And then we have this circle inside the word circle stem. So we're somewhere in this row, and it's got 1, 2, 3 lines on it, making it an M. And then we have an O inside the word circle, so like this. And then we have an N because just this one thick line ends on it. And then we have an S with 3 lines just like this M's 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. So 3 lines on a shallow divot is an S. So demons. And then our next word here is our first stem. 1, 2, 3 dots are all closest to that stem. Even with dots in the vowel, vowels never have dots, so this dot has to go with the stem that the vowel's also in. So that's where those 3 dots go to that R, because R has 3 dots. Then a U goes outwards, so there's that U. And then an N, just like this N. So demons run, and then we have a B, no modifiers on a deep divot. U, line going outwards. T, shallow divot, no modifiers. K, 2 dots on a circle inside the word circle. And this word is count. And count doesn't start with a K in English, it starts with a C. But in Gallifreyan, you only use this letter C if it's a proper noun or an acronym or something where the letter C is completely necessary and can't just be phonetically swapped out. So this is just a regular word. So you would replace the C with the sound it makes. So this is count, K, so you use a K. So K-O-U-N-T, count. Then we have this word here, T, shallow divot, because these lines don't end on it. It has no modifiers. They end on this word. And lines that pass through don't count. So T, and then we have an H, 2 lines on a deep divot with an E in the middle of it. And then we have another K, 2 dots on this stem. O, like a bead on a string on that stem. And I tend to erase the line behind vowels just to make them a little bit poppier and a little, I think that looks sloppy when there's a line going through it. So I get rid of the line. So anyway, that's the O on K, O. And then we have an S, 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, and then a T. And this thing here is a sentence circle. So like I said before, normally you'd have the words going bottom counterclockwise around the sentence circle. But in this case, it's just a linear pattern. But you still need a sentence circle to put punctuation on. So here's the period at the end of this first stanza. And then we have THE, so the, B, A, T, T, L with 3 dots, E inside that stem, S with 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot. And then a W, 2 lines on a W on a shallow divot. O, and then N, 1 line on the N. So battles 1. B-U-T, just like this B-U-T. I mean, the vowel is a bit bigger in this one, but hey, it's still obviously a little circle, so it works. So B-U-T, T-H-E, just like this T-H-E, except sideways, because if you go bottom counterclockwise, this is still the first thing you hit. Here's our next word. Here we have a CH because 2 dots on a deep divot is a CH. I line going towards the middle. L has 3 dots. D has 3 dots, so child. IS, this little line goes and connects to the S here, and this little curve ends on the S as well twice. Just like this W having 2 lines ending on it. This S has 2 lines ending on it that follow a curve, so is. And then 1, 2, 3 dots on this L, which is a circle inside the word circle. O on that L. And then we have a stacked stem at the end here, which is kind of a tricky thing. So a stacked stem is when you have 2 of these letters in a row and you put them on top of each other. And since these are, this is a double line, we have this thin one and this thick one, we know it's 2 letters. And because their lines are 2 different thicknesses, it's 2 different letters. So we read the thin one first, which has 1, 2, 3 dots, so 3 lines. So this line, which connects here and here, and then this line, which goes outwards. So that's 3 lines making an S. And then a T has no lines ending on it, so that's just the little T here. So thin to thick, so lost. And then we have our word circle with a period on it. So yeah, and this is kind of like a sentence circle to kind of help balance out the design. As far as things to consider when you're getting the tattoo, it's safe to end lines on, well, I guess you might be adding stuff later. I don't think you're planning on adding extra embellishment other than maybe more of the quote going around here. But this is all decoration, this 1, 2, 3 line set here, and it can be completely not used if you would like. And if you don't want the punctuation, you can get rid of this whole chunk as well. If you are interested in one of these options and are wondering if it's still okay and readable, even if you get rid of some of this stuff, let me know. But otherwise, I think this has a really nice balance to it and will fit really nice as a back tattoo, with this being up by the shoulder blades and this kind of being towards the bottom small of your back. Well, not small, like mid back, but like here's the arch of your back. It kind of frames it. I'm rambling now, so let's go ahead and end this video. I hope you like your design.